You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio.
We want to welcome you. Hold on a second. We want to welcome you to yet another Digital Guy radio show for yet another Sunday. Very special thanks to UNAM for kicking it off this week with Something's Up. It certainly is. Something's definitely up. Hopefully it's going to be some sunshine, because I hope we're past the monsoon season here in Los Angeles. Boy, I'll tell you, we have definitely been wet the last couple of days. My very good friend, George Duke, who sadly passed away very suddenly last year, left us with a phenomenal CD as his last work. A little something here from that CD, Dreamweaver. Here's Jazzmatazz on the Digital Guy radio show. Hope you can stick with us for the next 2 hours. We got a fantastic show. My very special thanks to Mike Parlett for kicking us off. And we will be just putting out great music all week.
Out of the crowd I can feel your presence, drawing me closer and closer to you. It feels like deja vu. As I hold in my arms and surrender to me. Your lifetime fantasy. This
to the bar, but I don't go far, cause I feel you from across the room, but I just can't assume that you and me could break the ice and feel nice and dance once or twice. Now let's move this to the lounge, away from the crowd, but ain't so loud. I just wanna know your name, no game, I know you feel the same. Spark the flame with a kiss. Well, that's what I heard before, but somehow this time I can't ignore your body touching mine. You got me going this time. Your touch, and I want you oh so much. Now we're gonna take it to the sky. Feel so good, you make me high.
Well, if you happen to be in Southern California a couple of months back at Spaghettini, we had a fabulous show at Spaghettini called Celebrate George Duke, and we had about 18 of the best musicians in the Southern California area joining us over the course of the evening to celebrate the music and the life of the gone way too soon George Duke. And a number of those artists are on our show today with their recent works here on the Digital Guy Radio Show, coming to you live on a Sunday, if you're listening to us on Sunday, on Solar Radio. If not, we thank you for tuning in wherever you are. This is from the brand new Nathan East. A song about Sir Duke. can feel it all over. And that has got some of the most wickedly twisted changes in it, chord progressions in it that I've heard, but that is a fabulous version of Stevie Wonder's Sir Duke, done by Nathan East. This is his very first CD after so many years of playing on everybody's great records. And a little fake-out ending there for you, courtesy of Mr. Nathan East, from his brand new CD on Yamaha Entertainment. That is Sir Duke, and we've been playing the daylights out of Daft Funk, which is the first official single off of it. But I have to tell you, I've been listening to all the tracks on this CD, and it's just chock full of wonderful and musically inventive stuff. Like this CD from Kaylee Minucci. Here's Genesis, and this track is Blue Lagoon, which is still on the charts, rocking everybody's contemporary jazz world. You are listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show, and we are very glad that you could join us today. eminently melodic and wonderfully facile on the guitar strings. That is Kaylee Minucci with special effects. That particular track is Blue Lagoon, the current single, still rocking the charts. Thanks, Greg Manning. It's time for
The Digital Guy's Funky Corner.
And we are kicking off the Funky Corner today with something from our pals 3Style, featuring special guest Katja Riekelman. On saxophone, here's Funky Lights, appropriately funky, to kick off your funky Sunday, or whatever day you're listening. Little something to fulfill all of your funky needs. Something brand new from our pals in the 3Style band, also featuring Rod Stewart's saxophonist Katja Riekelman. Definitely got some great sax going on there. Look forward always to wonderful music coming from 3Style over in Bavaria. They're going to be in Southern California, by the way, later on this month, early next month. So be sure to catch them when they come to Southern California. Definitely a band not to be missed. You are listening to the Digital Guy Radio Show. We are deep in the midst of the Funky Corner. We got a lot of brand new music in the mailbag this week, including this from Willie Bradley, Another Day and Time. And if I am not mistaken, I feel the deft production touch of Nicholas Cole. like I said, we've got a very full mailbag this week, chock full of some brand new tracks that are coming out, and a lot of them are really, really good. Like this one from Willie Bradley. It's called Another Day and Time, and you definitely are going to want to be searching out this particular CD. This is the title track from the CD. Good production there from young Nicholas Cole, who is a wunderkind, as they say, on production and keyboards and stuff. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the CD. I'll bet you there's a number of equally great things on it, as well as that particular track, Another Day in Time.
You're listening to TDG Radio, your escape from the ordinary.
Well, we like to think of this as your escape from ordinary. We also pride ourselves in playing best music from all around the world, like this brand new from Vincent Ioia. Just said hi to Vincent on Facebook. Hope you are digging this. By the way, if you like what we're putting down, drop on by our Facebook page, facebook.com/TDG Radio, and say hi or send me an email, bruce@tdgradio.net. Let you in a little bit on the lowdown of what's going on. You are listening to something called First Time from Vincent Ioia, and I suspect this is coming to us from the Minneapolis-St. Paul way because it's got Ricky Peterson on keyboards and Paul Peterson on this. As an old friend of mine, I worked with St. Paul years ago. Jerry Johnson on guitar and Peter Janczyk on drums. Boy, this track is kicking, and it is a fine, fine single from Vincent Ioia, something brand new. Now, if you are down in the San Diego area tonight, make sure you get your butt over to Humphreys. because tonight is Eddie Reddick's CD release party, and it's going to have Will Donato and Gary Stagnonis, a whole bunch of guys. Chase Hoon is going to be there playing. This is definitely a fine single from Eddie Reddick. Here for your listening pleasure. A little something called Sweet and Sassy, and you gotta wait for it because it does get funky. It just takes a little bit to get going. Told you. Well, you're definitely going to want to get on down to Humphreys, Humphreys Backstage, I should say, you know, the indoor club, and check out Eddie Reddick's CD release party tonight. That joint is always jumping, and it's a lovely little intimate venue, so who knows who's going to be jumping around, standing on the tables, sitting in people's laps. I'm talking about you, Will Donato, crazy guy that he is. A little bit of Sweet and Sassy there from bass player extraordinaire Eddie Reddick here on the Digital Guy Show.
Something special from the Digital Guy.
And we have, like I said, we got a bumper crop of great music coming in the last number of weeks. Played this a couple of weeks ago. This is a little Detroit music here for you from guitarist Ed Stone from the King of Hearts CD. This is Rhythm's Gonna Get Ya. Well, giving us a little bit of Miami Sound Machine by way of Detroit, Michigan. That is very talented guitarist Ed Stone. A lot of great local Detroit musicians on that as well, and that rubs my heart in a very warm place because Detroit is my hometown as well. Always happy to see the homeboys getting a bit of the action out there, and always happy to support great Detroit music and great Detroit musicians like Ed Stone. Here on the Digital Guy Radio Show, coming to you live on a Sunday or whatever day you're listening to us. We want to thank you for dropping on by. Segueing into the night of the Mojito. This is our pal Andrew New. He's out there playing with Bobby Caldwell these days. And that, of course, is Andrew New, and we are just chatting a little bit here on Facebook while the show is rolling. Thank you very much, Andrew, for your support and for listening. Always a great pleasure to have something from Andrew on the show. He's a very talented player and a really nice cat as well, I have to tell you. And that, of course, is his most recent single, Night of the Mojito, and it is rocking the charts in the contemporary jazz world. We're very happy to support Andrew and all of the great music from his most recent CD. Reason, indeed it does. We're not sure exactly what the reason is, but if the reason is making a great CD, well, I'm totally and completely down with that idea. Here on the radio show, the Digital Guy Show, it is Andrew New.
You're listening to the Digital Guy Radio, the best music from around the world.
And from one great player to another, here's a little Paul Taylor for you from his upcoming CD, Tenacity, featuring Jonathan Fritzen on keyboard. This is Supernova. Well, that is Paul Taylor inviting us to partake of a musical supernova, as it may be. I'd actually just be kind of happy if we had a number of days of consistent sunshine here in Southern California, because it certainly has been wet and dreary. But then again, you know, we need the rain, so can't complain too much about whatever. Jonathan Fritzen featured on that, along with Paul Taylor's Supernova from his Tenacity CD, a fine, fine work that it is, too. And speaking of fine, fine new CDs, I got one brand new single from Michael Lington. It's called Soul Appeal. Michael Lington rocking us up until Dennis Poole time here with Soul Appeal, the first single off his brand new CD. This sounds like it's got all the makings of a winner, that is for sure.
Digital Guy New Music Feature with Dennis Poole.
And as usual, this is the place in the show where we recommend a piece of new music suggested by our pal Dennis Poole of SmoothJazzTherapy.com. And this week, Dennis is going for a track from the soon-to-be-released CD by those renowned funksters, Down to the Bone. Indeed, ever since 1997, when the band burst on the scene with the seminal Manhattan to Staten, by the way, one of my personal favorites, Down to the Bone has been all about the groove. The brainchild of non-musician Stuart Wade, Down to the Bone came out of the acid jazz movement that was prevalent in the UK during the early 90s. While in the intervening years, and with saxman Schultz at its center, the band delivered a series of high-octane albums, indeed. Now, with Schultz away to pursue his solo career, Down to the Bone is now in a new phase of what, by any measure, continues to be an interesting career. In 2011, the CD The Main Ingredients heralded a switch to the Trippin' and Rhythm label, and this soon-to-be forthcoming follow-up, Dig It, is due out this spring. Dennis's selection from it is the easy grooving track called The Sweetness, which is an indicator of how Wade's undisputed production skills continue to reap rich rewards. So here you go, something brand new out of the box from Down to the Bone, courtesy of Dennis Poole, who is with us each week this time on the Digital Guys Show. The Sweetness, Down to the Bone. Oh yeah, if that is an indication of what we got in store for us from a brand new Dig It CD from Down to the Bone, well then, buy me a ticket for that train, because I'm definitely all over that. Very cool and unique cover from Down to the Bone. And here is a little Pete Gitlin. We're going to drop back to his Amplify CD. A week or so ago, we played his most recent single. But I got to listening to that CD, and Pete called my attention to Soul Experience. I thought you'd enjoy listening to this.
Biting straight to your heart. I'm surfing on a river of light. It's a soul connection. It's a soul connection. It's a soul connection. Hey. I'm running over city streets, headed down to your house. I'm running over city streets. Ooh. I'm running over city streets, headed down to your house. I'm running over city streets. It's a soul. It's a soul connection. Baby. It's a soul. It's a soul. It's a soul connection. Hey. Like a fever burning from inside. Past and present, future, all collide.
I'm searching for a soul connection, baby. Yeah, wow.
We're flying through a cloudless sky, looking down at the world below. We're flying through a cloudless sky, yeah. We're flying through a cloudless sky, looking down at the world below. We're flying through a cloudless sky, yeah. It's a song. It's a soul connection. Yeah. It's a soul connection. Hey, yeah. Like a fever burning from inside. Past and present, future, all collide. Oh. Hey, yeah. Surfing on the river.
That is definitely got a funky groove to it. That is Pete Gitlin from up Arizona way on guitar and talkbox and everything else under the sun with a track called Soul Connection. One of the many fine tracks on his last CD, Amplify. And boy, we're looking forward to more really great music from Pete after hearing his most recent single, Epiphany. It's a very different track from him, but very, very cool with a wonderful message. There's a little foreplay to take us up to the top of the second hour. We got even more, 60 more minutes of great music in store for you here on the Digital Guy Radio Show, right after a little Esprit de Four.
You're listening to The Digital Guy, Bruce Nazarian, on Solar Radio.
Top of the second hour of the show for this week, and we are going to kick things into high gear with the Jeff Lorber fusion. A little bit of Hacienda music. Here's the title track, Hacienda. Y'all sing along. Man, I'll tell you, if you died and go to heaven and Tony Moore is there with you on drums playing, not that he's in any imminent danger of leaving the planet, but Tony is one of the great cats from Southern California. Always glad to have him in a band, any band that I'm on the bandstand with. Same goes for Eric Valentine and a number of other wonderful musicians, including... well, you know what? We're not going to go there. That's Hacienda from Jeff Lorber, still rocking it out on the charts after many, many weeks.
This is Josie James, and you're listening to My Music on the Digital Guy Radio Show, hosted by Bruce Nazarian.
And here's another musician that it would be my absolute pleasure to have on the bandstand anytime. In fact, we were fortunate enough to have her on our Celebrate George Duke show back in August at Spaghettini. Josie James was funking the place up as only she could because she used to sing with George Duke. This is from Josie's most recent CD. It's called La Musica.
Here we are, the time is now.
Girl can sing.
Don't be in a hurry.
you can make it. Let the music take control. Let the rhythm move you, yeah. Feel the beat that's dancing deep down in your soul. Just let the music groove you. Keep on dancing. Keep on dancing to the music. Dance and sing all night. Now is the time to celebrate. Keep on dancing. Let the rhythm move you. Don't let your troubles get you down. Just let the music take control. Keep on dancing. It's the time to celebrate. Deep down in your soul. Dancing to the music.
The very talented and sultry singer Josie James, who is out on the road with Burt Bacharach a lot at the time, but she has a fabulous CD called That Jazz, and we were very privileged to have her come on down and be part of our Celebrate George Duke show. A couple of weeks ago, Dennis Poole featured this as his new music feature. This is the brand new single from the upcoming Nick Coleone CD called Influences. A thing called Got to Keep It Moving, and indeed he does. Nick Coleone. Well, going for a little bit of old school vibe there with Four on the Floor. That is Nick Coleone from his upcoming CD Influences. Definitely looking forward to hearing more of the tracks from that. Nick, a master of the jazz guitar. It's a great pleasure to be with you here on the Digital Guy Radio Show. Thanks for tuning in, whatever day it is that you happen to be listening to us. We always enjoy having you drop by. Like I said, this has been a busy week in the mailbag for the Digital Guy. Another brand new track from another brand new artist. This is Tim DeHuff from a CD called Big Water, Little Boat, Hurry Home. Something new for us here on the Digital Guy Show. Let me know what you think, okay? Well, being a guitarist myself, I am always very pleased to acknowledge other great guitarists who have recorded works out there, and that is one of them, Tim DeHuff, something brand new here on the Digital Guy Radio Show. And by the way, I did say earlier the best music from all around the world, and we are happy to have listeners all around the world, including Stephen Carr, who's out there in Waihala, South Australia. Hello, Stephen. Good day. Glad to have you around for the show. Please don't be a stranger. We're on the air every week this time from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, whatever that translates into in your time zone, on solarradio.com. And if you miss one of our shows, you can catch our podcast or listen to any of our shows on demand, actually, at our website, tdgradio.net. And you can send me an email like Stephen did, bruce@solarradio.com or bruce@tdgradio.net.
The Digital Guy Flashback Track.
Now, if you're not familiar with what flashback tracks are, let me take a moment and just explain. There's a lot of really great music that's been out there coming at you for many, many decades, and in this segment of the show, we go find some really great tracks from before, dust them off and give them a spin because they don't get played very often, like this from Quincy Jones's classic CD album, actually, Body Heat. This is Boogie Joe the Grinder. There's some great musicians on this track. This is part of your song. Oh, yeah, that is a classic that should be at least in everybody's memory banks, if not in their CD or LP collection. Body Heat from Quincy Jones. It's a little treasure trove of a note. The very first flashback track I ever played on this particular radio show many years ago was Body Heat by Quincy Jones, and we little by little have been showcasing all those tracks. Now, here is something from way back in the day that has actually just come back out again in new life. This is from Michael Henderson's CD called Solid that I played guitar on many years ago. This is Valentine Love, and it's just been re-released on Funky Town Grooves, so old music doesn't die, just comes back around again. Hi there, Michael.
yours, yours, yours. I'm so in love with you. I'm sending you this Valentine in hopes that you're still mine. And if that Valentine doesn't reach you, it's okay. I can make up your mind for you. Can make it, babe. Just have patience. That's all you can do. All you can do. I love you still, and I always will be yours, be yours, yours. I'm so in love with you. There's nothing Michael won't do. If I could just hold me, 'cause I'm in love. I'm sending a Valentine, sending a Valentine. I'm sending a Valentine, sending a Valentine. I'm sending a Valentine, sending a 'cause I'm in love. I'm sending a Valentine, sending a Valentine. I'm sending a Valentine.
Well, that definitely brings back some memories. Some really great Detroit musicians playing on that entire CD, and it was a great privilege to be part of that, along with many of my friends from back in the day who were also studio musicians back in the D.
It's definitely got the flavor.
Indeed it does. Speaking of studio musicians, here's another one of my favorite guitarists. This is Paul Jackson Jr., who has had a long and outstanding career as a session musician on guitar. This is from his CD from a number of years ago. This is called The Flavor, here on the Digital Guy Radio Show. big man on guitar, although small in stature. That's Paul Jackson Jr., and that is from his CD called, I'm going to blank on it here for a second. That is a track called The Flavor, and it is from A River in the Desert, one of Paul's earlier CDs from way back in the day, 1993 to be exact. Boy, guy's been making great music for a long time, and that is one of our flashback tracks. We've got one more to go here on the Digital Guy Radio Show before we segue back into present-day music, and this particular track coming up is from another very talented guitarist, none other than three-time Grammy winner Mr. Paul Brown, here on the Digital Guy Show. Just recent winner of a Grammy for his work on the Dave Koz and the Summer Horns, Dave Koz and Friends Summer Horns CD. That's Paul Brown, fine guitarist, an excellent producer, one of the hit-making producers in the whole contemporary jazz genre, and not a bad solo artist as things goes. Well, that's from his CD, his first one called, from a CD called The City. That's Sidesteppin' from guitarist Paul Brown, who is always visible here in the Southern California area, out and about playing around. Now, we were talking about Detroit musicians and singers a little bit earlier, and I said I'm proud to be from Detroit, proud to have worked with some wonderful musicians and singers, and this is one of them. This is Miss Kathy Cousins, with her version of Song for My Father. Yes, the Horace Silver classic.
If there were ever a man who was generous, gracious and good, that was my dad, the man. A human being so true, he could live like a king, 'cause he knew the real pleasure in life to be devoted to, and always stand by me, so I'd be unafraid and free. To be devoted to, and always stand by me, so I'd be unafraid and free.
Perfectly delightful voice of Miss Kathy Cousins from Detroit, Michigan. A song for my father. And that is off of her 2013 CD called The Space Between. And boy, that's a great trio she's got backing her up, I'll tell you. We've had a surplus of wonderful vocals come through. Here's something brand new from Cheryl Barnes. This is called Light Jazz.
You show it every time you play. Live your life on the stage, major nights, minor days. Too late to change your wicked ways. Like jazz, and you talk like jazz. You know, whisper kind of gruff, like a hipster hanging tough, like jazz. You smile like jazz. Your style is pure jazz. 52nd Street, in fact, hopping clubs with all the cats who like jazz. Now you're the last of the breed, and you know it. You show it every time you play. Live your life on the stage, major nights, minor days. Too late to change your wicked, wicked ways. 'Cause you love like jazz, close enough for sweet jazz. And yes, you love 'em on the run, improvising young like jazz. Breed and you know it. It shows every time you play. Set your song to the moon, have your way with a tune. In a smoky room with you.
If you're watching the video, you're enjoying the fact that I'm laughing a little bit and smiling because there's some major Miles Davis musical quotations there at the end of that. Cheryl Barnes, something brand new from her CD. That is called Like Jazz, and that is a fine, fine track. Here's some Bobby Caldwell.
I got a little bit ahead of myself, thinking love was strong, coming off of the shelf for you. Never had a clue. Before we met, I was doing fine, then I strung along like a fish on a line. It's true, you made me a believer, but you were thinking only of yourself. What about me? What about the love we made? Did you think so little of those special nights, romancing one another? What about me? What about the things we said? Did you think you'd walk away scot-free? What about me? Can't help it, but I'm feeling betrayed on the day we met. Guess I should have stayed at home. Better off alone. On the edge of a learning curve, but determined to see you get your just deserve in time. You made me a believer, but you were thinking only of yourself. What about me? What about the love we made? Did you think so little of those special nights? No, you never even thought to ask if I would care, and instead you kinda left me hanging there. Baby, that's just not fair. What about me? What about the love we made? Did you think so little of those special nights, romancing one another? about me? What about me? What about the love we made? Did you think so little of those special nights, romancing one another? What about me? What about the things we said? Did you think you'd walk away scot-free? What about me? What about me? What about the
Well, if I've got my cast of characters down pat, I should say, not only does Andrew New play saxophone for Bobby Caldwell, but also our pal Roberto Valli, who is one of the top call bass players in the Southern California area, and a fine solo artist, as evidenced by his most recent CD, Boom Boom Boom, is out there playing bass a lot with Mr. Bobby Caldwell, who that was. A little track called What About Me from a CD, House of Cards. Lots of great tracks on that CD. You should definitely be checking it out. And kind of wrapping up a little bit of our vocals for this week is something brand new from Diane Reeves. And believe it or not, she is channeling Marvin Gaye.
But to share is precious.
Actually, that's unfair. This is a really great cover of Marvin Gaye's I Want You from the very talented Miss Diane Reeves.
The right way. I want you, but I want you to want me too. Want you to want me, baby, just like I want you. Oh, I'll give you all the love that I want in return, sweet darling. But half the love is all I feel. It's just too bad, too sad that you don't want me now. But I'm gonna change your mind some way, somehow. I want you the right way, baby. I want you, but I want you to want me too. Want you to want me, baby, just like I want you. One way love is just a fantasy. Oh, to share is precious, pure and fair. Oh, don't play with something you might cherish for life. Don't you wanna care? Oh, ain't it lonely out there? I want you, I want you, I want you the right way. But I want you to want me too. Oh, I want you to want me, baby, just like I want you. If I'm lucky, baby, you get lucky too. Yeah. I want you. I'm standing right here for you, baby. Oh,
Well, there's a lot of songs that are pretty timeless. That is certainly one of them from the I Want You album from many, many years ago. The original, of course, from Marvin Gaye. That is Diane Reeves' new version from her CD called A Beautiful Life, or just Beautiful Life.
I'm so sorry. Come here.
Well, you can tell a song is timeless when it survives.
You're listening to The Digital Guy.
Many different incarnations and many different performances. This is our one and only nod to the Oscar telecast that's going on tonight. This is from Dave Koz at the Movies. And, of course, very, very beautiful track. Very beautiful tune. It Might Be You, featuring Peter White on guitar. Some magnificent orchestration there. Fantastic strings on that from the CD Dave Koz at the Movies. That, of course, is Dave Koz, It Might Be You, featuring the fantastic guitar of Mr. Peter White. We've had this CD for a little while, and we are gradually going through all of the little gems on it. I'm referring to the 9 Mile Road CD from our friends out at Woodward Avenue Records. This is Joey Navarro with Strawberry Moon. lot of good stuff on that CD, compilation CD from Woodward Avenue Records called 9 Mile Road. Very clever cover art as well. Skyline of the city of Detroit interspersed with some wonderful musical instruments. Paul Brown, by the way, featured on guitar on that track, and does not surprise me at all because Paul Brown produces a lot of music that winds up on Woodward Avenue Records, and he's signed to the label as well, so keeps it all in the family. My name is Bruce Nazarian. They call me the Digital Guy, and it's been my very great pleasure to be with you for the last almost 2 hours or so. We got about 5 minutes left in the show this week, and I wanted to thank you all for dropping by, spending some time with us. We do it every week at this time, on this day, on this radio station, wherever it is that you're listening to us. And if you happen to be listening on Sunday, then keep it solar on Sunday, because Mike Parlett starts at 2 o'clock Pacific time, and I'm right behind him, 4 o'clock Pacific time on Sundays, live and direct from Hollywood. On behalf of myself and Dennis Poole and everybody involved with the show, we want to thank you all for listening, and we're going to close out with Tony Saunders, a track from his Appaloosa CD, brand new, and this particular track is called The Lady in My Life. I am happy to say to you, as we always do, please look after the artists whose music that you love, because they depend on you for your support. So go to their live shows, buy their CDs. You know, remember that they make more money from CDs than they do from downloads. And don't steal music. That's rude. And besides, we spend a lot of time making great music for you. Costs less than a cup of coffee. Might as well enjoy it. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye, y'all.
I'll always be the lady in your life.
Thank you.